Hello everyone, it is me, Mary, and I am here today with an amazing video for you. Yes, it's going to be great. Okay guys, so this is a video that has been highly requested. I think pretty much, sorry, I'll sniffly. I think pretty much since I started couponing, people have asked me about this particular question. And during a weekly announcement, I asked people to provide questions to me that you wanted some clarity on. So I selected this one because I think that it is very relevant, and I think a lot of people could benefit from this video. And essentially what the video is, that's what I'm trying to say. The video is regarding coupon organization. How do I organize my coupons? What is the most effective or efficient manner to organize, sort, and store your coupons? Now, you must understand, this is my personal method. This is what works for me. Not everybody's going to do the same exact thing. Not everybody's going to have it work for them the best, and that's just the way it is. However, this is what, after many years of extreme couponing, this is what I've came up with and what I feel most comfortable with. And there are many reasons as to why I select the method that I do. So what I'm going to start with is the method that I did in the past when I started couponing. Then the method that I did a little bit more, I did it in conjunction with the method that I used to do in the past. And then the current method that I use now. Okay, guys. And you must understand, I am an extreme couponer, so I have a lot of coupons. My coupon amount has went down very low here recently, but I typically, my hair is not even in a bun, it's just kind of like wrapped around, so I feel like it's going to fall down. But anyways, I used to always have about 40 to 50 inserts, sometimes 100 inserts per weekend. So in saying that, I have to look at that from a very extreme perspective or standpoint. Okay, guys, even if you are couponing on a very low level, this is bothering me. If you're couponing on a very low level and you're not having, I haven't brushed my hair, I'm sorry, and you do not have a lot of coupons, the method that I'm going to provide you with, I believe, is going to work best, but we'll see. Don't be aggravated with me if I'm going against your method, okay, guys? Somebody asked a question. Actually, a lot of people have asked a question. I'm just being honest. I prefer to be honest about that. So let's go ahead and get started. So how do you organize coupons, okay, guys? What is the best method? What is the most efficient method? And what are some things that you need to consider? Well, one of the most important things that you need to consider from my perspective is money, okay? And you're probably thinking, oh, well, you're couponing, you're saving money, so an initial investment's fine. I get that. However, we can try to eliminate or minimize our initial investment as much as we possibly can. Now, another thing to consider is your time, because in all reality, time equals capital typically. So what we would say is this. The cost-benefit analysis, the principle of economics or cost-benefit analysis is anything that you are foregoing to do or partake in a particular activity is going to be a cost. So if we're spending 10 hours doing something, what could we be doing with those 10 hours? Could you be working? Could you be spending time with your family? Could you be going to Six Flags if you're in Georgia? Or could you be doing a bunch of different things? Could you be studying? Could you be investing time into your education? So there's the actual cost of what you're investing, okay, guys? So we're looking at this from an hourly perspective. However, you must consider that hours can relate to dollars, okay? And even if you're not necessarily, foregoing like work, saying you're getting $15, $20, whatever an hour, if you're not foregoing that, you are foregoing other activities that in the grand scheme of things could relate to currency. Now, in addition to that, something that you need to understand is the actual benefit. So say that I could be working and making just say $20 an hour, right? Or $10 an hour, whatever that is. So say that I'm spending 8 hours per week organizing and all of these other things, times that by, let's say 10. So that's going to be $80. Is my investment of time going to equal to or exceed the actual return, the benefit? Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to have a cat souffle tonight. All right, my cat Mushu just went to my L'Oreal line there that I have. And on each line, I've had people ask, it's probably about 20 shampoos deep, okay? So he just like, bam, knocked them all over. Domino effect, like 3 rows of them. Bad Mr. Kitty, South Park. So anyways, yes, if we're having a $10 times 8 cost there, okay, that's what we could be having. What is the benefit? So if we have $80 of items that we get for free, that's great. So we're now at an even playing field. However, say that we've invested $10 into coupons, say that we've invested, $10 into supplies. Now we have a negative return on our investment because we have to take that $20 there out of the $80 benefit. So now we're in the rears. Okay, guys. So that is pretty much how I look at things. So if you see things that I see maybe from a different perspective, this is where I'm coming from. So let's look at the first system that I used to do that I no longer really, well, let's just see how this goes. So here's a traditional method, okay, guys, and this is a binder. People have binders. Now, some people get those really expensive, binders with all the Velcro and the straps and all those wonderful things. I ain't got no money to be spending on that. Even if I did have the money, which, whatever, I wouldn't spend on it. Personally, I went the cheaper route and got this right here. I think it's like 2.5 or 3 inches. And I got it for $13.99. Now, it does break a little bit, but you have to think this is probably 2 years of usage. So it's a really good, sturdy binder. But anyway, so basically, here's a coupon binder, guys. And I think that you really need to consider the size for how many coupons you're going to be using and keeping. I had a little bitty folder here for any little extras that I wanted to put in or any peelies that I found. And then here are the actual sheets that you're going to need to buy. And I always would keep a few extra if I need to add in some. But here are these baseball sheets. So I think you can get like 50 of them for $9.99 at Target, but maybe 100. I can't recall, but it is expensive to get these right here. As I said, this folder right here is a kind of a cheapo folder for $14, which is not cheap. So we're already looking at about 25 bucks, give or take. Then you have to organize out your actual inserts or your coupons. So for me, I did it in ABC order, and you see I have a lot of tabs. I ended up getting these tabs right here for $1.49 on 70% off clearance for 8 of them. So you have to look. I've got a few, so you got to look at that price. I keep the little bitty ring stickers here because these will rip and break. So you got to consider that price as well, which isn't immense. You can get these at the Dollar Tree, which isn't a problem. And I do go alphabetical order. So I'd have like baby, beverages. Then I went candy, cat, candy, cat, cereal, condiments, deodorant, and I'm just going to tell you just in case you want to do it the same way: food, frozen, hair, household, laundry, lotion, makeup, medicine, oral, pads, paper, refrigerated items, shaving, soap, and restaurant. So one thing that I would like for you to notice is my food is not going to be freezer food or refrigerated items. I keep those separate. So in the store, it's very easy. So if I'm on the frozen aisle, I can say, oh, here we go, freezer section. Bam, open it up. Let's see what's in there. So that's how I would do that. So I think that it's pretty nice to have an organized system, okay? Now, let me just show you all the coupons that I have in here right now. My binder's really, really full because, I use this binder every day when I go couponing because all extreme couponers, we carry big binders. So you see how full that is, right, guys? No, I don't use a binder. Yep. And I get it. You probably think that I'm crazy. And years ago, if you would have asked me about not using a binder, I would have thought that the person didn't really know what they were talking about because it was really kind of outside of my train of thought to think, how are you couponing without a binder? You have to have a binder. But I just don't. Now, if you're doing some clearance shopping, it can be good. I used to keep a few in there. More so my daughter would, for practicality purposes, she would go through and learn the organization. I would keep a binder sometimes when I go to the store if you've seen older videos, but I just don't do it. My daughter has learned what she needed to learn about organizing, clipping, putting in everything. So I don't really have to have her do that. And I just don't keep a binder. let me tell you some problems with having a binder. Well, here's one right here. So say that you get 40 or 50 inserts, right? So these are old, very old. These are not current coupons. But say that you get 40 or 50. So these right here or more, these right here have about 10 actual coupons, 10 to 15 coupons per little sleeve. And they're all, well, they're not the same here. So these are just toothpaste. These are toothbrushes. These are actual mouthwash. But in one page, I just have 3 types of coupons. Okay. So this right here is a little bit of a waste to me, because I am clipping out so many coupons, spending my time clipping them, and I'm having to go ahead and put them in separate pockets, because if you put all in one pocket, it's going to be too large and it's not going to fit. So it's going to start to fall out when you're shopping. And then if you drop coupons on the floor, it's going to be a problem, which I've done that. So that's a little bit of an issue. Now, another issue that we have is when you actually have internet coupons, when you cut them, see, there's only a certain size here. If you cut them, the problem is that they may not fit. So what are you going to do then? So now you've got to go, say that you have, 30 coupons and they don't fit. So now you've got to fold even more. So then you've got to bring it in here. This is just a pain. So then you've got to bring it in here. Another reason why I don't do this. I don't have patience for this. So then you bring it in here. Now it's open. So then if you're in the store and you accidentally, pick up your binder the wrong way, or your kids do, oh, there goes 40 coupons on the floor. So that can be a problem. This space is an issue. Having some big fat binder is an issue to me. Spending so much money starting a binder. So let's just look at my binder right there. So that's probably a $50 setup, and that's a cheap binder, okay? So say that you want to have one of those, TLC extreme couponing, the really big ones with your strap and all that stuff, and that's how you want to go around, and all the cashiers will see you and say, there's a couponer. So if you want to be that person, which great organization, I get it, absolutely. But if you want to be that person, you have to understand those big old 6-inch or 5-inch binders, the really nice ones, you're going to spend probably $30 plus to get one of those. Those are expensive. Okay, guys. So now you've got $30 plus. You've got the sheets, which $10 to $20. You've got the dividers, which, however much you're spending on that. That's your binder. That's an expensive part, but now the really expensive part is going in and cutting all of these things. Now I got to spend my time cutting these things. So say that I'm getting, 10 inserts a week. That's it. So I'm going to have to go in and, sometimes you have to cut the sheets to get them all lined up. Sometimes you get different regions. So one's in a different spot and you got to go in, you got to cut them all out, and you got to hope that you cut them accordingly so they'll fit into your little bitty thing. If they don't fit, then you got to go back and trim, or you're going to fold them over and have them all get annoying. So say that you've got 10 inserts. Not only do you have to cut every single coupon that you're going to use. Now you're not going to cut every coupon, but the coupons you're going to use or anticipate using. So then you've got to cut those and you got to put them in. So that right there is a problem, because first of all, you got to know which coupons to cut. So say that you're new and you're like, well, I think 25 cents off of this is a good deal because I'm saving 25 cents, which it is. But is it worth cutting the coupon? What coupons should you be cutting? If you're a clearance shopper, what items are you going to find on clearance? Okay, guys. So those are all questions. Plus, now that you've cut a bunch of coupons, you got to go back in weekly or bi-weekly to see what's expired to pull the coupons out. Because we know with Unilever and P&G, sometimes there's only a 2-week lifespan. So you've got to be, worried about that. So if you're doing it to an extreme level, or even a moderate level, say that you're just going to do 2 hours every Sunday, putting your coupons in, or say that you're going to do 4 to 8 hours, depending on how busy you're going to be. If you're getting 100 inserts and you've got a full binder, then yes, it is feasible that you could spend 6 to 8 hours cutting coupons. Why am I saying that's feasible? Because I've done it, okay, guys, and I'm very efficient and meticulous in what I do. So in saying that, if I've done it and it's taken me that long, think about what it's going to take a beginner, okay? So yes, a binder is a great organizational tool. I like binders. Is that the best way? I'll never carry a binder again for the rest of my life. If I had somebody with me and they were like, hey, Mary, teach me to coupon, and they said, I've got a binder, I would probably say, once your coupons expire, let's throw away your binder. Period. I don't use a binder. Okay. So I feel so sick. What's another way that we can do this to get out of the binder mentality? Well, here's another one. I did this for a very long time, and I like this to an extent. It's kind of heavy. So we have one of these filing folders here, and you can get this at any of your, Staples. I think Walmart online, Amazon. I like to shop on Amazon because you can really compare and contrast. If I break a nail because of y'all, I'm going to be mad. But anyway, so I like to compare and contrast prices on Amazon. So here we go. We have some hanging folders here, and then we have folders, and they have dates on them. So let me see if I have one, just as an example. So I'm going to just go ahead and grab a hanging folder. So here's a hanging folder. And I'm just going to grab a actual folder here. So let's put this heavy thing down. And there are some benefits to having this. There you go. There are some benefits to having this. So what do you need? You get that right there, $18 or so, and you can store a lot of coupons in it. It's a pretty good deal. So you need hanging folders here. So these things, I got this in pink, and these right here, a pack of like 15. It really depends. I think this was $7.99 for me. And then you need these little folders right here. I ended up getting these, I think like 50 of them for $10.99 or something like that. So, we do have a pretty nice investment there. It's going to be relatively consistent with a cheaper or less expensive binder, not the big, really nice, I'm a pro couponer binder. But anyway, so we have this. So what I would do at that point would be that I would put the actual date here, Smart Source 10/2, or Smart Source 1 10/2. And what you can do is you can actually use the little bitty white tabs there. So once one's expired and you no longer use those coupons, you can just put the white sticker over there and write on it again. So that's how you can save money. And you would just buy those little white stickers right there, the labels at Dollar Tree. But anyway, so then what you have is you have about this much space of how many inserts you can sit in there. Okay, so it's pretty okay space there. So about 10 inserts is pretty good. If you wanted to double stack it, you just get another one and put Smart Source, 2, 10/2 or whatever, and then just double stack it behind, and you keep them organized. Okay, guys, so this is a pretty good method. If you are a couponer who is not doing, more than 10 inserts per week, this is a really good method, guys. I honestly believe in this method. I don't use this because I think I have a better method, but it's a good method. So essentially what happens is, say that you're going couponing. This right here is a great tool because you can carry this to your car. So just put it in your trunk or put it in your back seat when you're going couponing. So prior to going on a couponing trip, what I do is I go ahead and see what's on sale. I look through my ads and I say, okay, well, I think I want to buy this. I think I want to buy this. So let me see if I have corresponding coupons. So then I'll go to a database. I go to southernsavers.com, which is a coupon website. I don't know about all the information they have on there, but I use their database, and it's very, very a good database. So then I'll say that I want to get Windex. So I'll type in Windex. Oh, well, there's a coupon, and it's in 9/11. So what I'll do is I'll open that, I'll go through the filing system, and I'll say, oh, here's my 9/11 folder. Great. Bam. There's my coupons. I only need 2 of them, so I'm going to just cut out 2 of the coupons, and then I'm going to put this right back in there. Now, a tip for you, though, is if you tear out a sheet, like say it's a 2-sided sheet, and you tear out a sheet in your insert, and you cut that coupon. If you do not put that right back in here, you're going to have a whole bunch of loose sheets laying around. You're like, well, where is this from? So now you're looking for a coupon, and you have a bunch of loose sheets, and they're just in a mess because they're not organized. So please, when you take a coupon out, put that sheet back in this corresponding little folder. Okay, guys, very good tip. I've learned that from error, right? Yeah, not good life stories. So anyways, how about this, though? Say that we've got a great trip planned. We're so excited. We're ready to go couponing. We've got everything we need because we planned meticulously. However, we are now at Rite Aid, and we found a bunch of Boss items on 75% clearance, but we don't have a binder, so we're messed up, right? Yep, let's just leave the store and go home. Ready to go home? Nope. Okay, no, what happens is you have that big handy dandy thing right in your car, so you just go to your database on your cell phone and you type in, okay, well, guess what? I just found Tide on clearance. Let me just type in Tide. Yes, it is in 9.2 Smart Source. So what? I'm going to go up in there and I'm going to pull that coupon. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in the parking lot because I keep scissors in my car, and I'm ready to go. Bam. I don't have to invest 4 hours a week, 2 hours a week, 8 hours weekly. Y'all ain't gonna fight. Sorry about that. My one cat's been a bully to my other kitty, and it's just really getting on my nerves. And he actually like cut into his head. You want me to show him? They're gonna like be ticked off. Come here, baby. This is Kiku. This is one of my show cats. He was very, very famous show kitty, and he is retired, and he's so pretty. Anyways, can y'all see this right here? See that? He has like no hair right there, and it's red. He actually bit him so bad, got on top of him and attacked him and took all of his hair off of his head, and he's got a big scratch. So I'm just really upset about this. And you know what's funny about Siamese, if you don't know? They're born white, right? And he's a seal point, so he's gotten very, very dark over the years. And he was a very huge international winning show cat. So I love him so much. But the other one's being a bully. So anyways, yeah. So you don't have to invest any time really into, you don't want to leave? Okay. You don't have to really invest any time into cutting, sorting or anything of that nature, because all you had to do was write a date on a folder and throw the inserts in there, and you're done. That simple, right? Okay, so that I think is one of the best methods to couponing. And if you're going to go on a trip, I'll include a video below where I included how I plan for a trip. But basically what I would do is I would get all the coupons that I need from that actual big filing system, and then I would just paper clip them and then plan them accordingly. So if I have to go to CVS, I'll probably just write trip 1 on the outside of the coupons on a little post-it note, have them paper clipped, have my actual notebook say trip 1 so they correspond, so that way everything's in order and ready to go. So that's how I do that. So very good deal. You need to take him because I need to be able to hold that thing. So another tip that I do, and this is my current, he doesn't want to go. This is my current thing that I do, and I've been doing this for a while, and I love this right here, this is how being a super, hold on one second, take those off the top, This is a super extreme way to do this, and this is saying that I have probably 400 inserts set right now. So, see this right here, this really cute little thingy here. I ended up getting a 3-shelf like plastic thing with these sliders here at Walmart for $10. So my only investment in materials is $10 now. So it's a lot less than the others. So if you look inside, I have a bunch of coupons, and you're probably like, holy moly, that's an unorganized mess. It's not unorganized. So you see how these right here are the sideways, these are sideways, they're all corresponding, they're all different, and they're organized accordingly. So what I have is I have them from date. So I have the oldest on the bottom and I have the newest on the top. And what I do is I have the actual coupons here and they're all set. So I have these together, then the others under that, and then I just kind of line them up so that way I can easily go through them. I see the dates here, so I don't have to waste money on any type of folders because I see the dates. I don't need to. So I have them all right here. So what happens is, say that I need to do a trip. Well, what I'll do is I'll say, okay, well, let me just find the coupons. Okay, well, these I need from these right here, so I'm going to put these to the side. Oh, that's not the ones I need. Oh, but I do need these right here, so I'll just grab these and I'll put these to the side. So then I'll go to my bed and say that I only want 4 of them. I could just grab 4, say that I need 50 of them. So then I'll just pick the coupons I need and I'll cut them accordingly. So that's how I do that, and that's how I plan for my trip. So in this particular method, I have invested $10, and I have in each drawer, I probably have about 3 to probably 500, more than that. Probably, let's just say I have, actually that's a lot more than that. So let's just say at least 500 inserts per drawer. Okay, guys? So for me, this works out very, very well. I do not have to spend any money on folders. I don't have to spend any money on notebooks. I don't have to spend any money on dividers. I don't have to spend money on anything. I spent $10 right there. It is so easy that I can send my son and say, hey, go get me 10.9 Smart Source 2 or whatever it is. And he'll be like, okay, pull out the drawer, go through, grab them. Here you go. That easy, guys. So then what happens is if I go to the store, say that I need to actually shop and I have the coupon set up. Marie, hand me my little Coach thingy. Hold on. So you're probably wondering, how do I carry those coupons in the store? This is it right here. I am prepped for trips right here. So basically what will happen is I'll have the coupons that I need. So say that I know that I need a whole bunch of these, but I don't really have a trip, but I know I'll probably use these. So I'll just keep these in my little bitty thing that goes in my purse. If I actually have a trip planned out, say that I have a full trip planned out, what I may have is an actual full set of coupons right there that I have together ready for a trip. So it really depends on how I'm doing this. So yes, sometimes I keep some coupons that I know that I'll need, that I'm going to Dollar Tree and I need, a whole bunch of a particular type of coupon. So I may keep those in here, but this is reserved for my shopping trips. So whenever you see that I'm going to have a CVS haul or a Target haul or a Walgreens haul or anything, my coupons are in this. So when I go into the store, this is in my purse. So nobody really sees this. It's in my purse. I have everything aligned with the actual paper clips. So everything's in there. I don't have to worry about that. And I do not draw any attention. Now, I know most of all the cashiers around, they know me and they know I'm a couponer, but I don't get bad looks from people. I don't immediately have new cashiers look at me in a poor way. I don't have store employees look at me negatively. When I come to the register, I'm not even holding that, because by the time I get to the register, I have my little paper clipped pack of coupons. So I just walk up to the register and then here you go. Thank you. And nobody stereotypes me as one of those couponers. Now, back in the day when I did have the binder, I would have people say, or they'd look at me weird. Yeah, I saw that you had the binder, so we can only do a limit of 2 on these today. Oh, hey, I noticed that you had a binder, so I just wanted to let you know about our new policy. Or, hey, I saw that that got old, guys. The whole being pinpointed out as a couponer got old. I'm very happy to be a couponer. I just don't like the negative stigma that comes along with it. So that is what works for me. I hope that I didn't offend anybody for their systems. If you love the binder, you love the binder. And that's what it is. I personally do not like a binder. I keep my inserts with me. Those right there, those big pullouts, if I know I'm going couponing, you will see that I will have those 3 pullouts in my trunk. So if I'm in the store and I see that there is clearance, coupon database. Hey, honey, go to the car and please get out this coupon for me. Yeah, and that's pretty much what happens, right, Marie? That's pretty much what happens. So that's how I work it out. That is how I organize my coupons on a very, very extreme level. Don't waste your time cutting coupons, guys. Don't cut coupons. Why cut coupons? Unless you need them. Don't cut them unless you need them. Save your time, guys. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye, guys. I need to calm down. Bye, guys.